Tesla stock is breaking a major level of support, and this is going to cause a major sell to the downside. If you're holding Tesla stock or if you're looking to make money, you have to watch this video. I'll be taking a look at the chart psychologically, what the chart is telling us, and then I want to take a look at earnings because Tesla has earnings this week on Wednesday after a market close. I want to talk about what we are expecting for earnings. I want to take a look at previous earnings and why I personally think we are going to be dropping in this earnings. And then I want to take a look at TSLS, which is a Tesla short stock. So basically, if you buy this stock, it goes the opposite direction of Tesla. So this is a good way to make money on the downside, and I want to explain on how you can make money with this stock because it can get very confusing if you're buying puts, long-term puts. You have the IV, and then you have the theta, and that whole threat of time decay. And then the last thing that I want to go over here is the $7,500 Inflation Reduction Act. So Biden announced this bill a couple months ago, and I've personally seen a huge effect on this. So people are kind of like delaying the process of buying a Tesla because they're waiting, next year so they can get this reduction act, $7,500. And on top of that, I just want to talk about the current economy. We are in a recession. The interest rate is so high. It is very hard to buy a car right now because the interest rates are extremely, extremely high, and most people just don't have $60K to buy a Tesla. So I want to also explain on that and why I'm personally thinking we are going to be dropping our earnings. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to leave a like. I want to do a full in-depth analysis on Tesla stock before Wednesday. And let's get started. Let's take a look at the chart first. So tradingview.com, make sure to use the link in the description. Open the chart up. Please follow along because it's really important that you look at the chart yourself and you kind of make your own analysis. So on the weekly time frame, we had a level of support and we had a level of resistance. So this is a resistance and this is a level of support. Support is where the price keeps bouncing, and then resistance is where the price keeps rejecting, and these are supply and demand levels. So if people are buying here, they want to buy here because they think that the stock is overbought. If we break this level, that means that this stock is hitting massive lows because people are not thinking that this stock is not worth any more at this level. So finding the next level, it's going to be very, very hard. And now let's take a look at the chart itself. So today Tesla was down over 7%. Okay, today was on Friday, last Friday, Tesla was down 7.5%. Massive day. And on the weekly time frame, we have officially closed below the daily time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we have officially closed below the weekly time frame. Now, what does this mean? Well, if we psychologically look at the chart, massive uptrends. Okay, great news, bullish market, COVID stimulus bills. Whatever, great earnings, but now, we were consolidating over here, so we were just kind of trading sideways. We had news of recession and whatever, and now we have broken the trend. So the consolidation period that we were consolidating for a while, we have broken that trend, because if we zoom in, okay, on the weekly time frame, we have a massive bearish selling pressure candle below this trend line. So this is telling us that we have broken the formation and we have switched trends. We went from being bullish about the stock to now being bearish and switching to the downside. On top of that, we have head and shoulder, which is psychologically a bearish pattern. And then we got the confirmation this week of us closing below. So the chart is telling us that this stock does not look good. Psychologically, it does not look good. Now, that is what the chart is telling us. Let's take a look at the earnings, because more importantly, what is important is the actual earnings. Is the company making profit and all of that? So let's take a look at a deep dive on earnings. So if we're taking a look at the earnings, first thing straight up, Tesla, has been killing every single quarter. For a whole year, they are just green on earnings. They're absolute monsters, and they're absolutely, just killing the market. So on TradingView, I have this pulled up, and basically you guys can see that Tesla is just, killing every single earnings. So that is one of the reasons why Tesla stock has been doing amazing, has been doing great. So now the question is that since we are in a recession, it's harder to buy a car right now because most people buy a car with a loan. And if we take a look at the interest rate is around 6%. So it's getting harder to attain credit, and people are spending less, and it's just harder to buy a credit. So, just kind of take a look at that. You take a look at interest rate, and it's just common sense. Kind of think that it's going to be a lot more pressure for Tesla, and this could cause this selling pressure that we saw on Friday, where people want to get out of Tesla before the earnings report comes out, because it's not the same Tesla anymore. We are in a recession. Times are harder now. We don't have a bullish sentiment for the whole economy anymore. So that is one thing to understand for Tesla stock. So that is a very, very important point. It's just hard for Tesla right now. 2020 really wasn't a recession. It was a quick, nosedive and back to the upside. But this Wednesday is going to be judgment day for Tesla. Okay, Wednesday after market close is going to be judgment day for Tesla. On top of that, I want to take a look at the $7,500 tax credit. So the Inflation Reduction Act. So this came out, a couple months ago, but it takes place in next year, 2023. So basically, if you buy a EV, you get a tax credit. Now, I've personally seen this with someone that I know who was looking to buy a Tesla. They bought it, this year, but then they canceled it, and now they're buying it next year so that they can get the $7,500 tax credit. So that is one thing that I'm looking at, that people are gonna not buy the Tesla now, and they might buy it next year. And again, I've personally seen this. Someone that I know canceled their Tesla, and they're looking for this tax credit. So that's my personal experience. Now let's take a look at on how you guys can make money. Because if you're buying puts on Tesla, especially long-term puts, first thing, it's going to be very expensive. And then the second thing, you're going to have theta. And then the third thing, you're going to have IV if you're holding through earnings. So the whole idea of long-term puts with call options or put options is a very, very tough process because of theta and IV. Now, luckily, this is a new stock that came around, which is TSLS. So this is a Tesla, kind of like a bear, so it does the opposite. Like how you guys know, we have QQQ, which is the tech ETF, and then we have SQQ, which is the opposite. So this is like the opposite of QQQ, and then we have TSLS. And if we take a look at the chart, it broke out, and it's also a very cheap one, $33. So this could be a nice play instead of buying long put options, and this could just be a better option if you're feeling bearish on Tesla. But overall, things are looking very, very bad for Tesla, very, very bad for the market in general. But if you just take a look at the chart, it does not look good. Psychologically, it does not look, and common sense, just do basic common sense of recession, interest rates, and whatever, it does not look good. So if you're holding Tesla, it's on you. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Very, very simple video. And Wednesday is going to be judgment day for Tesla. Again, I personally think we're going to drop our earnings, but it's going to be a coin flip. No one knows. And especially if you're holding Tesla through earnings, be very, very careful. Overall, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys later tomorrow. Bye-bye.